Pepe's so coachable.
Why? You should be in
Just need
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so coachable.
Why? You should be in
Just need to
prison.
shake him.
You should be in prison. We build you out. We build you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Final Third. I'm your host today, Banks, and I'm joined by my ever-faithful co-host, Lavish, or Shemi, or Oluwashemi Lore. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, but as always, my internet's awful.
No, you're with us for now. We can't complain about the internet yet. Another big weekend of Premier League football, full of the surprises. You know how Premier League football goes. He always likes to throw in a little bit of the Barclays, a little bit of the drama. We had Crystal Palace going up to Etihad and giving them as a pamming. Even before they got the red card, it was still a pamming. We're going to start there. Crystal Palace, Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 2. Wolf Zaha with the first goal. And then followed up by a Gallagher goal. Shem, What are you telling me about this match? Deserved win for Crystal Palace, or did they get a bit lucky?
They got it right. They got it right in the sense that they frustrated Man City. Because they took one, going 1-0 up against City quite early, knocked City off. They're not used to being in that position. So City managed to get hold of the game. In terms of City, literally were about to score. They were on top of Crystal Palace for huge chunks of that match from when Palace went 1-0 up. But the fact that they frustrated Man City and made them more anxious, Man City naturally they're not gonna maintain that shape. Naturally, they don't really maintain that shape even when they're winning because they're so ball dominant that they can get themselves out of any position and they have the ball anyway, so it allows them to move out of shape. But what Crystal Palace did, they just stayed rigid and they just stayed within the game. They just continued to frustrate City, and the game went on, the more desperate they went. And Pep will blame it on the refereeing decisions. And I feel like we'll never know if they were 11 versus 11 if they would have come back. But I'm not gonna put it down to the fact that it was 10 versus 11. I'm just gonna put it down to the fact that they got the game plan right, to be honest. And it's just one of those days for Man City. It's nothing to worry about. You don't win all of them. Just game.
Yeah, it was Vieira sent them out. We see that they've been playing a lot more expressive, better football than what a lot of people are used to seeing Crystal Palace play. But this today against Man City at Etihad, naturally they went a bit more defensive, made sure that they got it right, got their blocks set up well. Gallagher in the middle was an absolute menace in terms of just winning the ball back, being where he needed to be to close down the gaps. He had a great game. But the difference is they actually had a threat going forward. They played Zaha up front instead of Edouard or Benteke, which gave them a bit more mobility. He was able to chase things down the sides. So it was a very well set up performance. Michael, at least I have to speak on him quickly. I don't ever need to see Jordan Ayew start a Premier League game again. He has no business starting Premier League football matches while Elise is.
They weren't. To be fair, prior to this, they didn't have anyone else. Now they do. Yeah, prior to this season, they had nobody else. So now they do. We don't need to see it anymore.
Like Elise is ready for Premier League football. Like he does not need to be holding bench for Jordan Ayew. He does not need to be holding bench. Ricky Bowley says Ayew got no moves whatsoever. Fam, is so frustrating. Does the same thing on the right. I guess he was put in there for work rate because he's gonna run. He's gonna run for you. Yeah, he was put in there for the work rate. But yeah, going forward, Michael Elise needs to hold that right hand side because he's electric. He's
just always he makes a lot of right decisions. Aside from the fact that he's talented, he's got good skill, can carry the ball well. He makes the right decision, and for a young player, that's the problem. You forget his age sometimes when he plays. You just have to remember it's him. Like, oh yeah, he's actually young, but he makes the right decision.
Yeah, that's it. When he was for the second goal, came on, had John Stones.
At least they're off the bench. It's coming. It's a banker now. It's cash money. Like he's gonna get a goal contribution. Like and Eze as well. Hopefully Eze comes back. Ricky Bowley, there's a comment there. Hopefully Eze comes back and he can find the form which he was prior to the injury. Yeah, it's just unlucky for
DJ
Pep. It's
says
one of them
York
ones.
Gallagher stays at Palace permanently. I think that'll be I think it'd probably take around 40 million. I'm guessing.
No.
How
They
much
don't
you
need to
think?
put the 40 million. They don't need to put 40 million down. If they maybe go in there with 25 to 30, that should be fine.
25
Nobody
to
else
30
is gonna
million.
put. Nobody's gonna offer more than Crystal Palace. So whatever Palace, not that Palace is in the driving seat, but no one's gonna offer more than Palace. No, it's not gonna be
Hey, there's a
25.
bit. Ricky's surprised at the 40 million. These youngsters are going for peas nowadays, fam. They're going for
25
peas. I
mil.
wouldn't be
25
surprised.
mil. To be fair, the fact
25
that
mil.
Gay went for 20. What did he go for? 18 or 25 mil?
18. He went for 18 million. No Premier League experience.
That's mad because he has no Prem experience. That is mad.
That's what I'm saying. Conor Gallagher, 2 seasons in the Prem, is showing up. It makes sense if they overcharge.
The West Brom season, are we really gonna?
Yeah, that's Premier League. That's 2 seasons. This is 2 seasons of Premier League
Okay,
football.
2 seasons in
It
the
all
Prem.
counts.
But like the breakout is this one.
Eze soon come back. Yeah, even adding Eze back into this team once he finds his feet again after a bad injury. There's potential. There's potential and promise going on in South London. Buy low. I told you. Look, I was trying to get you.
It's not low no more. It's not low no more. It's not low no more.
It's not low no. It's low. It's still budding. It's budding.
This is why we got to start. This is why we got to start regulating these comments because you have bozos like this saying stuff like this. What is this? I've got my Arsenal hat on. Like, what's he? Oh, okay. He says Arsenal hat in terms of money. Okay, I thought he meant in terms of like he wants Gallagher at Arsenal. Sorry. My bad.
Just quickly on Man City. Do Man City have anything to be worried about from this performance? Oh, we've got 7 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock, and Shemi's first internet blackout has happened. For the bingo, whoever was playing bingo on Shemi's internet blackout happened at 7 minutes, 5 seconds. Huh? Yeah, you're back.
Oh,
Just informing the viewers
about your. Don't be rude. That's why I had to ask, am I back? So don't be rude. Yeah, no. Let me switch.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk about another first loss for City at home, I believe, this season. 2-0 in a match where they didn't really create a lot of chance. I wanted to know whether you thought that they should be worried by this sort of performance.
Nah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Well, it's City, sorry. You cut out.
Yeah,
there.
City.
Sorry, no, City shouldn't be worried about this performance. More so the result. I feel like this one is like result. You know, they just have those games where you play well enough or you play to a certain standard, like your average standard, and you normally get it out. You normally get a goal out of it, or you normally get a good result, or you get the dub. This one, City weren't far off of their average 3 o'clock kickoff standard.
Ricky says, "Shell, come on now, stop using this open reach internet." Yeah, we gotta talk to a couple Wi-Fi providers for you, man.
Anyway, City have one of these results in there. Yeah, exactly. City have one of these results in there, but more so the result.
What was it? The 2019-2020 season when they lost 3-2 against Norwich. They do have these sort of results.
They lost Newcastle as well that season.
Yeah,
when everybody was beating Newcastle.
I think this week it was just it's more the result than the performance because they weren't terrible. They weren't terrible, but it's the result with Chelsea winning. Obviously, Liverpool dropping points. This is kind of where you would have wanted to make some games or not fall behind too much. So I think the result is going to sting more than the performance.
But they're going to feel hard done by the refereeing decisions. And for me,
what decision would they feel hard done by?
Laporte and the disallowed goal. So Jesus' disallowed goal.
They'll feel bad about the disallowed goal, but Laporte, that's a sending off.
But here's the thing: I feel like the only person that can complain about that really this week should be Arteta. I don't know if that
because Aubameyang.
The Aubameyang one was the exact same thing, just a little bit higher up the pitch, but it was still within the opposition half. It was the exact same thing, but no red card. And it's just for me, it's the inconsistencies again between this decision.
Inconsistency for me.
It's the inconsistency for me. It's giving me VAR now. On the real, it's tiring, it's tiresome. But yeah, no, result more worrisome than performance. To answer your question,
we'll go. Thank you. Always love a little compliment.
Shut off the screen.
Well, I can't read out the compliments.
That
That guy. Moving on to El Sakiko, it was Tottenham hosting Manchester United. Loser leaves Raw match. You know that match is
I quit match. Hey, that's the captain.
match, you know.
I quit match. WWE had us in a chokehold to believe that oh my
Hey.
god, that's to quit now. Vince McMahon did.
Oh my
Ain't
God,
no
what's
one. Oh my god,
Hey, nah, WWE,
Flair
yeah,
has to
great,
quit now.
great stuff.
Ric Flair has to quit now. He wasn't an I quit match. Was it Ric Flair? I'm so sure Michael got Bearman had an I quit match. Oh
Yeah.
man. Anyway,
But
go on. Yeah. So
it was feeding a lot in the build up to this week. Two managers that was under a lot of pressure. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Nuno Espirito Santo. It felt like the loser of this match might pay with their job.
here's the
Manchester
thing. About
United came.
I was going to say just one quick point before you do the intro. It's quite different. Like, obviously, if you don't go to the match day, you feel like everything on Twitter, the atmosphere on Twitter is like the atmosphere in real life. But that's not the case. In terms of Manchester United, the match day fans are still behind Ole, you know. Whereas in Spurs' situation, the match day fans weren't ever really behind Nuno. And there was a funk in Spurs before Nuno got there. So it's like, it's all bubbled up. The match day
Yeah.
fans are on his neck a lot quicker than they were
He didn't
on.
really have any like good favor to curry, considering the fact that he was their fifth or sixth choice or whatever. No, seventh choice. God damn. So like, yeah, with Santo, it was a bit like he didn't have any good favor to lean back on if he went through one of these runs where the football has been bad, he's making bad decisions and they're losing matches. So as you say, that what's going on social media and in the stadium, it reflects like they literally mirror each other, because you heard what happened when Lucas Moura came off for Stephen Bergwijn, and the fans weren't happy flipping all. They weren't happy at all. But we're going to talk about the game quickly. Manchester United 3, Tottenham 0. Shem, what did you take from that game?
I just play the way overall. I just play what you're good at. Play the method in which you're good at, and it's crazy because you always have this trade-off between style of play and results. Now you see it with Conte and a lot of defensive managers, especially at big teams, where the results get boring after a while, and it's like we don't enjoy watching our side. Ole tried to change the way in which he played against Liverpool, even though he doesn't really have a way, because for me, counter-attacking as a big side isn't really a way. It's just more pragmatic. It's like more regressive. So you're more scared, but that's Ole's way.
Ole's given up on trying to
so that's your way. Like the pressure got to him.
He's given up trying to make us seem like we're going to take control of the game. We had 43% possession.
It's never been anything he's used to. So
literally, he's fallen back into we're going to give up the ball and we're going to counter attack. That's what I can coach to a decent level. That's what I'm going to do. It doesn't require, like, obviously you've got 8 defensive players on the pitch. It doesn't take much to be good defensively in that sort of system. Like
it requires minimal
backs on the pitch. 2 defensive midfielders. Like you shouldn't be conceding many goals if you're setting up like that. Now after that, it was just a case of on the counter, go create something. Again, it worked today. But
the question is how long can Manchester United do that for before? Because the thing about playing like that and playing in a style of play which people are not happy about, it's like it's very, very results dependent. So if you play like that and you lose, everyone's like, oh, we didn't even try. We weren't brave. We're Manchester United. We're at home or we're away. We're the biggest team in England. And if you play like that and you win, after a while, there's like a time frame on it. After a while, it's like we're boring. We don't enjoy us. All things like that. So it's a short term fix. And this is the thing with Wally. When he's backed against the wall, this is something good foundation to fall back on. In terms of Spurs, it starts with Harry Kane.
This has been a down tools job for the ages. We will literally be reading about this in textbooks for years to come. The way he's told Daniel Levy, you are going to watch me burn £120 million right in front of your eyes. Have you ever seen £120 million be burned? Have you ever seen somebody burn £120 million? Harry Kane said, watch the show I'm going to put on here. watch
Crash
the
and
show
burn.
I'm going to put on here. Because
I don't think it's 100%. I don't think it's 100% a burning thing, because I feel like when he gets the ball, he
it's
tries,
burning,
but all the
bro.
stuff.
Harry Kane is telling Daniel Levy, you should have taken the money. You should have taken the money, because this is what you're missing out instead of 150. This is what you're getting instead of 120 million. This is what you're getting. Harry Kane was most definitely throwing that game. I remember there was one moment in the second half when these lot were counter-attacking, and Harry Kane made literally the worst decision possible. He literally just, I think it was like a 2-on-3 or whatever, and it just a calm slide into the box. You probably get a goal. Just slide it across. Son's there to finish. Man literally clipped it right into our defender. I was just like, yeah, this guy doesn't care. He's given up. He's given up. And he's saying, Daniel Levy, watch. You should have just taken the money out. I was begging you to take the money, and you decided to you decided to be shysty with me. You decided to be shysty, and you said, I'm going to stay here. You're going to stay here against your will. You're going to stay here against your will. So I'm going to burn 120 million pounds right in your face. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing, because this Harry Kane, they won't talk about it though. They won't talk about it. They'll talk about Jadon Sancho starting off poorly, whatever. Fair enough. But they won't say a word about their boy. They won't say a word about their boy. Oh, wait. Second freeze comes at 16 minutes, 38 seconds. Anybody had that on their bingo? Shemi,
Stop.
Shemi.
Stop. The thing about my internet, if I don't speak for long, because you went on a long monologue. If I don't speak for long, my internet is like, it's on rest mode, innit? So it does this thing of like,
it's like them lights that you need to wave to keep on.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it has a sensor. So if I don't speak for long, it feels like you're not using the internet, so it switches off. Anyway, yeah. So cool.
No.
Anyway, yo, I don't think it's a down tools job. Wholeheartedly, VAR check. I don't feel like it's a down tools job for Harry Kane specifically. I feel like if the ball comes,
Ricky says, "Nah, go fund me for Shem's internet now."
If the ball comes to me, I'm gonna hold it down. If not, I'm not running. I'm not moving. I stop putting it. Anyway, yeah, no, but they're not gonna speak about it though, because for me, the only difference between Harry Kane and Carlos Tevez' down tools job is that Harry Kane's actually just present. He's here. He might as well have gone abroad.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So I don't get fined. And for me, it starts there. Ezri Konsa got sent off.
Is it still 2-1?
Payne, yeah. Dean Smith's face. Dean Smith's face is going to be a meme. Dean Smith's face is going to be a meme.
Oh,
the disgust on his face. The disgust on his face. Ezri Konsa's he's a good player. But yeah, no, in all honesty, it starts with Harry Kane, and it's a big rebuild job at Spurs. It's the fact that they completely plateaued with Pochettino. They got to what they called was a title charge. They got to a point in the Champions. They stumbled to that Champions League final, and it plateaued. Since then, that was the optimum for Spurs, and they won nothing. And since then, I don't know how they got rid of Pochettino, who was overachieving with that squad. A lot of the core of that squad's gone. The Eriksen, the Dembele, Alderweireld, Vertonghen. They're not really there anymore. Trippier, they're all gone. And all that's left is Kane, Son, and Lloris. For me, it just needs to you have to tear it down and start again. Our Mings is coming up. Oh God!
Just tank for the number one pick in the draft. That's what you have to do.
You're back to square one in terms of if they want to get rid of Nuno, you're back to square one in the sense that who did you want? Everybody you wanted said no to you in the first place. So we're seeing fake rumors of Conte might agree a deal. No, he said no to you first.
Guys, it just doesn't make sense to go get Conte mid-season when you had the chance to try grab him.
No, he said no. He said no.
He didn't. I think he said no because the expectations of what he'd get wasn't aligning with what Tottenham were going to give him. So
Fonseca said no. Sarri said no. Conte said no. Bearman said no. Apparently, it was Graham Potter at one point. He said no. Bearman said no.
It's
so,
It's trying to get Conte now when you could have planned the season well with him at the start. If you gave him what he needed to have to compete, then it would have been hey, look, we're gonna talk about that later. Have you on the Summer Jam screen looking crazy, bro? on the flipping Summer Jam screen. It's not a case of we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. Right now, we need to talk about Tottenham shambles. The idea of Conte coming now when you couldn't promise him the money and what he needed to be successful in the summer, you're all of a sudden going to promise it to him now after you've kind of shanked up the beginning of your season. Doesn't make sense.
I don't believe Daniel Levy is going to sack him because it's going to cost him more. And you know he's very shrewd with his money. So I don't think he's going to sack him.
CJ said earlier, reports out this afternoon that Nuno's job is under immediate threat and they've reached out to Conte. So, yeah, rumours that they've reached out to Conte, but I just can't. It just doesn't seem logical. You could have, if you was willing to put the money out to make Spurs competitive, you would have done it in the summer. You're not just going to randomly do it middle of the season because things are going bad. As you said, for Tottenham right now, it's just a case of
yeah, Storm. Obviously, so they had to make a substitution because they're 10 men down. So when Diaz stormed off because they took him off to bring on Mings. No, but you know where you have to walk off for like the quickest exit. So he came off and he's walking around the pitch. He just hopped over the ad boards and walked down a tunnel, a random dugout. Walked his way around. He literally just walked down.
It's looking crazy at Villa Park. Grealish is struggling at City. Dean Smith is struggling without Grealish. Like, you don't know what you got until you scun. You don't know what he's got until you scun.
Yeah. But in terms of Ricky, because he's coming to back his goat. You know, Ricky Bowley is one of the advocates of Nuno at Arsenal when he was still at Wolves. He said Nuno, it's not his fault. He's still a top gaffer. I don't think Nuno's a top gaffer. I feel like he's a mid-table, like he's a fixer. Even though he's better than Arteta, I feel like he's a fixer. But
he's better than Arteta.
Yeah, comfortably. Comfortably.
Yeah. CJ said it earlier. He didn't need this on his resume. It's just like it's a shit situation for him to be dropped into.
Let's move from Tottenham though, because we'll lose some viewers. It's boring to talk about it for that long.
Do you think he gets the sack before the international break?
Yeah. I think that's the window. That's the sacking period. International break is like the sack window, right? So someone's got to go during every window. So yeah.
Liverpool versus Brighton. We're gonna move on to that. 2-2 at Anfield. Started off. Liverpool raced into a 2-0 lead. Henderson and Sadio Mane, but in the first half, they grab a goal back by Mwepu, and Trossard gets the equaliser in the second half.
Clean goal.
It's the exact same one that Tillman scored against United. It's that same one.
No. This one wasn't. No, in terms of Trossard's what I was talking about when I said
Trossard's one. Oh yeah, walked through the defense. Walked through the. Andy Robertson doing all sorts of shit.
Strictly, but in terms of that game, I don't know. I left the game. I came back. Obviously, I saw the highlights after. I left the game when Liverpool went 2-0 up. It just looked very comfortable from Liverpool. CJ said something after that. Brighton is always a tough fixture for them. And I guess I thought it wasn't a tough fixture for them. It was just that, that period when everyone was beating them at home. But Brighton, I don't know how they managed to stay in that game because they weren't in that game at 2-0. They weren't.
They turned it around in the second half, though. They
really turned it around in the second half. And I've just got to rate Graham Potter as a manager because a lot of managers in that situation getting nothing from that result. Especially the fact that Liverpool, like, they were still onto Brighton. They didn't stop at 2-0. Mane had a disallowed goal. Salah had a disallowed goal. Do you get? So it's just
Sanchez got very lucky with that one, boy.
Yeah.
He like to play, but boy.
So staying on top of that was very, very good. And it's just, to be honest, it's good to slow Liverpool down. Like I picked them to win the league, but I don't want them to run away with it because I'm more scared. I'm just happy they're not in first. I'm not worried. I feel Chelsea will still come down, but in terms of Liverpool, it's happy that I'm just happy they dropped points, and I'm putting the onus on Brighton doing well rather than Liverpool because Brighton popped them. Brighton just popped them. It wasn't
Brighton second half they popped them. That's what I'm saying. Like they're brave. They're brave and they know what they're doing. They're a team that know what they're doing. So when it went 2-0, Potter still had the faith where he was just like, keep playing your football, and they got back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby F back in the 1 in 46 conversion rate.
When he scored the other day, what was it? Did he get Hattie or something? Or he got a brace?
It was a brace against Watford.
Yeah, so when he got a brace against Watford, you just knew he's not scoring for the next 30 games. So anyway, I just wanted to quickly speak on Tariq Lamptey, and I'm happy that every time he's come on the pitch. Sorry,
He's
go
a
on, read your
fantastic. Hey, he's actually. I'm so happy, Brighton. I've got Lamptey back. I was so sick of seeing Gross and flipping Veltman play right wing back.
Dan Burns.
Lamptey is literally just like, I love him in that right wing back role. Love him in the right wing back role because he takes his man on, gets to the byline, and he gets good balls in. Like he's actually such a great right.
Every
right
goal counts, by the way. Every goal counts.
He's got. Oh, he's got height, not grace. Yeah, put some respect
every
on his
goal
name.
counts. Every goal
CJ said
counts.
put a flooded our midfield. Ox, Chamber, Hendo were anonymous, had our defenders 1v1 every time. Hey, Chim, you came on this platform last week and was talking about, oh, Naby Keita this, Naby Keita that. He's had a great start to the season. I told you it's Old Trafford tax. I told you it was Old Toilet tax. Man faces off against a real midfield. Man comes off after 20 minutes. Don't come to Old Trafford and you get your 2-minute compilation. Come to Old Trafford and you get your 2-minute compilation. I promise you. Any midfielder wants a compilation, come to Old Trafford.
He walked off injured. What's wrong with you?
No, I don't care. You walk off injured. You didn't want to get injured against United because you know you was going to get your comp. Don't come and use this platform to do some Naby Keita prop. The last time I'm going to see you on this platform, Chim, if you keep doing this rubbish. Last time I'm going to see you on this platform.
You're bad.
Last time, Chim. Try to come here and spread some flipping Naby Keita prop. Think you get away with that. You thought you get away with that. Before you get away with that, I thought you was going to see Naby Keita play 3 games in a row. You are absolute joke. You absolute joke. Played 16 minutes. I even gave him 20, played 16 minutes. You absolute bum, Jim. Do not come on here doing Naby Keita prop ever in your life again. Ever in your life.
Softest African player of all time.
Badman Banks, cheering injuries. I don't cheer injuries. I'm just saying, Chim, he's a fool. He's the biggest fool in Liverpool. Biggest fool in Liverpool. Biggest fool in Liverpool. Came in to try to do some Naby Keita prop while I was away. He knew to do it when I was not on the platform.
When you weren't local.
Knew to do it when I was not on the platform.
My back was against the wall. I'd be comparing him to Lokonga. I was thinking, bro, Lokonga's better than him.
Lokonga at least shows up. Man's talking. Man said, I'm shameless. You waited until I wasn't on the platform to do some Naby Keita prop. I will actually, Chim, let me actually see. It'll be me and you, Chim. It'll actually be me and Chim. It'll be me and you, Chim, if you ever try that again. It'll be me and you.
So
Don't know what he thinks this platform's built off of.
Just quickly, so now with Liverpool and City dropping points, City's 2 points behind Liverpool, and Liverpool's 3 points behind Chelsea, with obviously City 5 points behind Chelsea. It's still, the title race is still in full effect in terms of there's a 5-point gap between Chelsea and Man City, and that's 1 to 3rd. Do you still, obviously you had Manchester United as first. Do you want to change that now?
No. I have to keep their expectations high for Ole. Silly gaffer. You got all your players. You need to win this. You need to win it. You need to win it. Nathan came and back. We're going to get the end of this. Tottenham that we're giving out 3-0 to everybody. Giving out 3-0 to everyone like they're flipping pieces of cake. That's the job that's going to save Ole's season. That's the job that's going to keep. That's
only a fool is certain man not knowing who Bobby Charlton is.
Let's get into this because you know.
Put it back. Go ahead quickly. 1 minute. Go ahead.
What you've got to understand is I've literally never seen some of these men younger than 50. I've never you
got Pallister wrong. I was like, damn.
Literally, it ain't resonate with me. It ain't resonate with me. I can't lie. So that one's on me. It's worse than what it looks. I've never seen some of these.
Never even saw Butner though. I thought that was Cleverly.
Bro, I had to look carefully. Like, is that Butner or Cleverly? I don't even know. It was literally going to be one of the two.
Fair enough.
Quickly, let's go to Chelsea. 3-0 against Newcastle. Money team. Reece James with the double. Jorginho penalty. Another one of their defenders scores. It's like a defender scores for them every game.
It's interesting now. Chelsea's defenders are getting like goals and assists, but everybody's rating it. It's weird. So I'm gonna let you go off because Reece James is your son. So because defenders are getting goals and assists now, and all of a sudden, everyone's like goal and assist. Wow, fantastic. So go on.
It's Newcastle. Like Newcastle, literally just a woeful team right now. You're not gonna get much prop off of a Newcastle win. It is what it is. But yeah, Reece James had a double. That was a flip. Left foot goal was a mad strike. Still, it was only a matter of time before Chelsea were gonna break them down. It didn't look as if Newcastle had a threat of their own. It was always going to be a case of when, not if, they break down Newcastle. So, yeah, tidy 3-0 win. Capitalized on Liverpool City dropping points. Good weekend for the Chelsea. Good weekend for the Chelsea. That's all I'll say about that.
I would say this. I'm going to say this. It's so interesting how I asked you to speak on your boys and you didn't, but you've lost your chance now. Reece James, fantastic brace as well. Chilwell, in consecutive weeks, you lot are getting your goals, getting your assists. I love that. All I'm going to say is this. When people put the onus on Trent and Robertson, like, in terms of they always they're just goals and assists, they're just good for attacking. I'm not trying to hear it no more. I'm just not trying to hear it no more because, yeah, every defender gets ripped. But when there's a light on you, every rip is under the lights. Reece James gets ripped. Not as much as Trent, but Reece James gets ripped. And now he's contributing going forward. Everyone's championing it.
Is Reece James a better defender than Trent?
Yes.
Okay.
Is Trent a better attacker than Reece James?
Yeah.
Okay. So there should be they just balance each other out. So there should be nothing.
I personally think there's a higher gap between Trent and James's defending than
and there's a bigger gap between Trent. There's a bigger gap between Trent and Reece James attacking as well. There's a big gap between the two. Yeah, 100%.
I think so,
100%.
I don't think so. Trent is a special player attacking wise, I can't lie. But Reece James is as well. Like he's very good attacker.
What do you think the gap is between Chilwell and Luke Shaw's attacking and Chilwell and Luke Shaw's defending? Because you said Shaw was peak and Shaw's the best left back in the league, and you've said
this season.
No.
Just in general.
Yeah, go on. Because you told me he's the best left back in the league, and because of last season, and that's literally season 7.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
Last season, was he not the best left back in the league?
No, he wasn't.
He was the best left back in the league then.
Tierney. Told you already. It was Tierney. So, anyway. In year 7, you were telling me. In year 7, you were telling of his 7 year or 8 years at Manchester United. You said, his peak is the best left back in the league. Form and class, man. Form and class. Just know the difference. Because anyway, so Chilwell, you're comparing the two, and one. What's the difference? Is the gap between
between Chilwell and Shaw?
Yeah, attacking wise and defensive wise. Just quickly.
Not much, but I don't rate Chilwell particularly highly. I don't like he's got a good strike on him. He's not a great crosser. I think Shaw's a better passer.
Okay.
Maybe a better crosser. But yeah, I don't think the gap is mad between Chilwell and Shaw.
Here's the thing. The gap is not mad at all between Chilwell and Shaw. But Chilwell's better at both of them than Shaw.
That's interesting. I'm gonna let you have that opinion. I'm not gonna because Shaw's playing horrible. He's been horrible this season.
Don't dump your stock when he's playing bad. It's fake.
I'm not dumping the stock. I'm not dumping the stock. But I'm not gonna get into the argument. I'm not gonna get into the argument about it.
Fan.
I said Tierney. Hey, yeah, that Tierney shot. You need to drop that one. Tierney was he was all right. He was all right. He was a left back for the 8th best club in the Premier League.
I'm not coming to comment from little Naby's brother. Quickly, let's do some Gunner talk, man.
Naby Keita's nephew.
They're both Naby Keita and CJ both be missing games. When last have you seen this guy put his name down for football?
I'm crying.
School of Naby.
Hey, CJ, now they're getting personal. Now they're saying you don't turn up to ball. School
of Naby, man. School of Naby.
They say, they got you in the Naby class right now. They're saying you turn up the same amount of times as Naby. See, this is where it gets sticky. Any other games you want to talk about?
Obviously, the Gunners, obviously.
Oh, Gunners, I even forgot you lot played.
Of course you'd forget.
Early lunchtime kickoff. Leicester facing off at home to Arsenal. It went 2-0 the way of the Gunners with, who was it? Gabriel with the first goal, and then Emil Smith-Rowe with the second. Are you ready to give some apologies to Mr. Mikel Arteta?
No. No.
Why not?
Look, two is not mutually exclusive. Like the two reasons why Arsenal fans are angry. Like if we had another manager, we'll be doing better than we are right now. And the aim is to be better. Do you get what I mean? Not to be meaty. Do you get what I mean? But did we overreact after the first 3 games? No, we didn't overreact after the first 3 games because we shouldn't be losing like that in the first 3 games. And aside the result, the performances were poor. The performances were very, very poor. But I'm seeing Arsenal fans saying that we misjudged Arteta. We didn't believe in the project after these couple games. And I commented saying it was after 3 games, you lot of all. And then obviously the bots and the people with no pictures in their AVs came underneath the post and was like, it's 10 games actually, it's 9 games. How can you get 3 games? Fake fan, you're not even. Yes, it's 3 games because, okay, and if you're going to say it's 10 games, then I'll go one further and say it's 2 seasons and 10 games. Because why is it taking that long for you to buy into the philosophy? Why have you taken that long for you to buy into this project? Because you literally see Vieira on the other side of London in almost like 90% less games be able to instill his style of play and philosophy onto the team. Now, we've done well and I'm very happy with the result, but I'm not jumping over the moon like I trust the project. I don't trust the project. I feel like if we get someone else, we'd be better. We'd be better off than we are right now. And we'll just be we'll have a lot more confidence. But happy with the result. I didn't expect us to win away at the King Power at all.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what did you make of the performance?
Yeah,
it was a very dominant performance from Arsenal.
And I've always said this. One thing Arteta can take away from this job is he's improved our defense. I've always said this. One thing he can take away this job, he's improved our defense and set piece defending predominantly. There was a time when the Arsenal fan, the ball comes in the corner and you're quite scared to concede corners. You were scared to concede corners. So especially the set piece defending and defending as a whole. Now with this season, he's just got better personnel in those positions, but he's improved us defensively. So I'm happy with that in Arteta. And the performance was a good, strong defensive performance. I don't like the fact that we scored and in the second half we were quite regressive and just soaked up the pressure. Something he does quite often. He's very much a game of 2 halves type of manager. But it was a very good performance all round. Defense was strong. Ramsdale, excellent. Best goalkeeping performance we've seen at Arsenal in a while. The save was brilliant. Lacazette in terms of link-up play was sublime. The midfield was very, very good. We just have to do a poll. Do Arsenal fans still believe we need Xhaka to dictate games, to win games? Do Arsenal fans still think we need Xhaka? Do we? Food for thought. Because people were telling me the problem. This is why we need Xhaka. You don't need forgotten. Xhaka have still very quiet. They still didn't reply to that tweet. But yeah, it was a good result. It's a good result. I did not see that coming.
Quickly, Emil Smith-Rowe Gallagher. I've seen a lot of debate about that recently.
There's no debate.
There's no debate.
There's no debate.
No debate.
There's no
you don't
debate.
think it's close?
No, there's no debate.
We'll throw that one out there. I want to see some answers about that.
Throw it nowhere.
That has been the final third this weekend. We've obviously still got the Aston Villa versus West Ham match going on. Currently 2-1 to the Hammers.
Away.
Declan Rice and who scored the first?
Declan Rice and Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. And with the West Ham goals, who was it? Ollie Watkins with the Aston Villa goal. We've got Everton versus Wolves tomorrow. Make sure you check in their Monday Night Football. I think we'll be at Ball though. Shall make sure you turn up to Ball. There's been a lot of questions luck in the ground in terms of football.
Me!
Look, I just throw it out there. I've been your host, Banks, today. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel when you're watching this back. Hit the like button as well. Lavish. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, people. Have a great weekend.
Peace.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so comfortable.
Wow, you should be
You just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We build you up.